Hey On the Towners, I'm Frank Licari. From cool threads
to groovy music to hitting the all-time high score.
Today we're stepping into a time capsule to explore an era gone by in the Palm Beaches. I am shifting gears at a popular car museum.
We'll glide into a neon-lit roller rink.
And I found a sweet spot where your taste buds will be reeling in the years. So join us as we go retro on the town in the Palm Beaches with me, Frank Licari.
This program is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches. Visit thepalmbeaches.tv for more information.
We're kicking off this episode at one of the most unique candy stores I've ever seen, a candy wonderland where you can taste your way through the decades. I'm going to do a lot of eating while I'm here. Is that okay? Because I
have a lot of candy. I have a PhD in research psychology.
Amazing. And of course that translated perfectly into opening up a candy store.
Of course, because
I love
research
that.
on candy.
I love that. How do you get into this?
I got into this because of my family. My brother started this years ago. He started selling candy at state fairs and festivals all over the country, like at the South Florida Fair. And then he kind of built it up to a while, and I was doing corporate work, and I said, I don't like it. I'm going to go sell candy. And I've never looked back 20 years later.
I love that.
We've grown over the years, and it's changed a lot, but it's a lot of fun, especially dealing with people, because you get to see smiles, and people walk in. You're not going to believe it. They walk in and say, I'm like a kid in a candy store.
That's exactly how you feel, literally and figuratively.
Yep. We do specialize in a lot of things people haven't seen in a long time.
And you've got, you run the gamut because you've got packaged candies, but you also have, there's a whole chocolate section up there too.
We have chocolate that we make in-house. We have about 70 flavors of popcorn. And then we also have a selection of just bulk candies that we bring in for people who want to try just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, saltwater taffies and hard candies, and there's a lot of retro candies in there too. We try and bring back the stuff that people remember from when they were kids.
It's just a store, but it's also almost feels like a little bit of a museum almost a little bit for families, right?
We actually consider it a destination because people can come, they can get candy they haven't seen in forever, they can get a lot of candy. And then we have our candy tour, which is a 1-hour guided tour of the history of candy from ancient times to more modern candy, show you how candy is made, and we even have a candy room decorated in candy. We have a lot of really cool stuff in here, a lot of nostalgia. This is stuff from the original Willy Wonka movie. This is a golden ticket signed by each of the kids that played in the original movie.
Wow.
We like to think candy is happy.
It is happy.
So we like to make people happy.
Tasting, like you don't forget what something tastes like. So it brings you back to when you were 4 and 5 years old.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh yeah.
That's pretty powerful stuff.
Maybe I'll use my psychology
Come on.
degree and we'll start.
This is what I do, Ken. Now I'm shifting gears at Ragtops. Part showroom, part museum, but all American fun.
If you look at some of these cars, the beauty, the design, the color, I mean, it's fabulous. I mean, my favorites are the 30s and 40s, which are not that popular right now to buy and sell, but they're beautiful to look at.
You do something that I like to call adult kid stuff. How and when did this come to you?
I was on an airplane coming back from my previous job, and I decided what I really, really wanted to do. And I wanted to open up a place called Ragtops, sell convertibles and Avantis. And I've been able to do both since 1980.
You come up with that idea just like that from the beginning?
Right on a plane. I trademarked the name. I knew exactly what I wanted to do and went and did it. We started at a gas station with 3 cars. I have all 3 of the cars.
That's amazing.
And then we got bigger and we started buying the properties next to us, and then we just got bigger. It just kind of happened.
How do you start to acquire the other ones? Like locally?
People would just give me their cars. I mean, I guess I'd have an honest face.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, here's my car, here's my title. Call me when it sells. Okay. I used to take watches in trade. Yeah, it's fun. I take antiques in trade. Look at the shell car. great people, and just phenomenal cars. This is a car culture because we can drive them 12 months a year.
That's exactly
with the top
right.
downs, hence a ragtop.
You're part museum,
Yeah,
right? You've
right.
got history in here
Right.
for almost 100 years.
No question,
Right? And you can buy every one of these?
Right, can buy every one of them. You know?
And most of them are now, they're not all yours, right? They're
No, they're all
private
mine.
They're all yours
They're
now?
all mine.
Every one of these cars?
They're all mine.
Gosh, you're a good guy to know.
But they could be yours.
They could be.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's welcome to come in and, you know, and every one of these cars run. Every one of these cars, somebody says, oh, can that car be driven? Well, in 1951, that Ford was driven every day. So why not drive it now? It's in the same shape it was in 1951.
It's really incredible.
It's kind of fun. Well, we sell stuff you don't need, so there's no pressure. So when you walk in and you start, let's say you look
really
at this
funny
car.
line you
Okay,
just said.
it's a great line.
That's a great line.
But it's true.
I love that
You know,
line.
it's good.
Next, I'm rummaging through a treasure trove of fashion at Trashé Vintage in Lake Worth Beach, a quirky paradise that breathes new life into vintage threads.
A little bit of kismet and a little bit of bitterness and a little bit of rage.
Very creative name to
Yeah,
take,
thanks.
to take the anger and maybe put it into something really cool and kitschy and cute. You said this is like my brain.
Yes.
When did this sort of world for you start?
It started in childhood, Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
It's my hometown.
All right.
So this was sort of an homage to that and
Yeah.
the stores that I grew up in. And, you know, just sort of working customer service jobs throughout the years, living in South Florida for 24, noticing that there wasn't this type of store.
Sure.
And that's how it was born.
You have mostly clothing,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Jewelry?
We have jewelry, clothing, records, belts, purses, accessories.
And your clientele's got to be from all over, right? Because this is kind of a destination store. What kind of people are you seeing that are coming
We
through?
see a pretty wide range of people. So sometimes people will surprise you with the things they buy.
Yeah. Where are you looking for this stuff? Is it just like where do you find this
See,
stuff?
those are trade secrets.
Okay, all right, forget it. All right, don't tell me that.
No, it's, you know, vintage is everywhere. People
Yeah.
don't think that it is.
Sure.
People think that it's really scarce. But the reality is it's not. It is everywhere. So, you know, you just really have to know where to look.
This is in a positive way. I felt like I was coming into like a cave.
Yeah.
Like it was like,
It's a clubhouse.
yeah.
Gotta push the button to
There
get
you
in.
go. That's what it felt like. I'm like, this isn't just like a place you like, I'll throw some stuff on the walls. This was like a design from like top to bottom. It's all the brain.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah, you're getting it.
I listen, I got it as soon as I came through the door. If you loved hitting the arcade as a kid, there is a spot in Delray with over 150 pinball machines. And the ride over is epic. When I walk in here, it reminds me of my upbringing. Yeah.
Yes, it's bring back memories from way back in the days.
Right?
So when people walk through the door, they normally be like, oh, this bring back a lot of memories. Oh, we're a kid again. We feel alive.
Yeah.
It's like,
And it's a rare type of business where the parents can come in with the kids and they're both having fun.
yes.
Right? You've got the old school
Yeah, so
pinball.
we have the oldest one is the Kick Out. That's like a boxing game. That's from the 1950. And then US recent game we have is Gullico. That was published in September 2021.
Whoa,
And all the games are unlimited free play.
that's a no-brainer. That's awesome. This is a cool thing even for kids because a lot of them don't even know what this is, right? They walk in here and go, wait a second, I didn't even know this existed, this type of machine,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So you're getting that kind of cool. What's the most popular game in here?
The most popular game is skee-ball. Everybody loves skee-ball.
I mean, that's the simplest
But
one.
yeah, but it's so old, retro school. Every kids come in, whenever they come through the door, they're like, oh, skee-ball, I want to play skee-ball. So it's like everybody, most popular game is skee-ball.
This is so cool. You got gumball machines and all the retro stuff. It's a kind of an experience. I kind of lose myself as I come in here.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yes, you do, yes.
You leave at the end of the day with like the ringing of the machines in your ears.
All right. For the first off, yes, but now because I get used to it, I do not hear it
You've
anymore.
lost your hearing at this point?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do not hear it
You
anymore.
don't hear anything? If you're looking for something For the person who has everything, I've got the store for you. The Tacky Tourist, how did you come up with this and why?
The Tacky Tourist was always on my bucket list, and it was the fun piece of me. And I wanted something that said retro, that said vintage, fun Florida gifts, and that's what I create. A little bit of everything, new, vintage, estate, and just to make it fun destination.
What are the things that you're most proud of when I walk through here that you can get here that I can't get anywhere else?
Tupperware. Vintage, retro, Tupperware.
Love it.
New and vintage. I have a clothing section with both new and vintage clothing. We love donations. A lot of people just bring us things and tell us, find it a good home. We have candy cigarettes. We have vintage salt and pepper shakers, retro Badu clothing, you know, just a little bit of everything.
I don't want to just call you Tupperware lady. So let's get your real name. What's your real name?
My real name is Amy Shaw.
Amy, first of all, I love all this. I love that you get so into it. And you're surrounded by vintage Tupperware in the shop. Now, what do? Do you come in here and hold Tupperware parties in costume? Is that what you do?
Andy's the one that holds the Tupperware parties.
But I love that you just showed up.
Yeah, the first time he announced on Facebook he was going to have a Tupperware party, I just showed up dressed as the Tupperware lady.
Just love it.
With gloves and everything. And I just love it. I mean, they're so retro. And
now, are
perfect
you
for Jell-O molds?
I was going to say, thank you. Very nice.
Little miniature hot dogs, great for potluck dinners.
Look at you. I mean, it's like opening up a 50s magazine and coming to life.
Hearing the crackle of an old 45 and a selection of pristine albums takes me back in time.
Dust off your turntables because we're about to buy some records here at Rust and Wax in a neighborhood called Industry Alley.
There's no real demographic here because you love music. The younger crowd, they come in, they want to hold the record, they want to flip through the lyric book. It's that connection to the artist and meeting other people who also love the artist, and they can connect with other people who are into the same things as them.
What were you doing before life hit you and the epiphany happened and you went, that's it, I'm gonna open up a record store? Because there's gotta be a story, right?
Yes. I actually went to school for finance and accounting. I was an accountant for about 5 years, and then I actually switched into social media marketing for a while.
I was an attorney for 11 years, and in the middle of 2020, both of us kind of realized we hated our jobs.
Right.
The music was always the passion of ours, and it was just like a fun side thing. We would pop up on the weekends at different markets, and then the vinyl really spoke to us, and it kind of took off a little more on its own, and yeah, it just really grew organically from there, and
that's cool.
Turned into this.
And music fans to begin with?
Yes.
Pretty much so, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Musicians?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Okay. You become music aficionados, buffs, different eras, genres now?
Yeah, I mean, we've really branched out. I mean, it's hard not to when you're seeing amazing stuff come in every day.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I'm pretty observant.
Yeah.
Really good at what I do.
Yeah.
Notice you got a record player sitting out with a little set of headphones. You know, in the old days, you could go and listen to the album and see if you wanted it, you liked it, or what songs.
Yeah, so any record in the store that's already open, you can take it over to the turntable.
They're still pressing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Albums.
Yeah, this wall behind us here is everything that came out on Friday.
Clientele all over the map. You get
All over the map.
Yeah, it's really everyone. I mean, we've got young kids that are, 8, 9, 10 that come in, and then, all the way up, and you see whole families coming together, and everyone's shopping for different stuff.
Yeah, it's a good, a little power couple, you guys, right?
Yeah. I really think,
You got the business side taken care of, and you're becoming, audiophiles. You've become audiophiles.
Yeah.
And not far from the Rust and Wax shop is the Vintage Supermarket. Held once a month, it draws people from throughout the Palm Beaches, offering up a variety of vendors who share one thing in common: a love for vintage. Let's meet the mastermind behind this concept.
How does a young dude like you get into vintage stuff? Like, how did that start?
So it started all when I was going to the University of Florida in Gainesville.
Over there, I kind of just always thrifted my whole life just for like cool jerseys and stuff to wear. But there, they actually had a market there that was kind of curated towards vintage, had amassed so much stuff that was like for me technically, but just too much for my college closet. Right. So there I had built up so much that I had started going to those markets and then vending at those markets.
Gotcha.
And I fell in love with vintage and selling vintage and all of that.
You start the market outdoors only?
Outdoors only.
Yeah, Florida, you can do that.
Florida.
Okay. How was it when you first started?
I would say at first it started off kind of slow, but we definitely stuck with it and maintained and just kind of saw the build-up time after time. And kind of the last 6 months or so, we've kind of feel that we've really taken off and kind of saw that leap in growth. It's once a month, usually the third Sunday of the month.
Okay.
It's 30 to 40 vendors for the most part, and it's ranging from clothing, jewelry, vinyl and records, cameras.
It's a great community. Everybody here is super kind and they want to see you succeed, and everybody helps everybody. So it's just an all-around great inclusive community.
This is actually my second time here, and I really love it. It's a lot of fun. I love the vibe, the people, the atmosphere. It's really fun people watching here, seeing what everybody's wearing. It's actually inspirational, watching the inspiration for me.
How many people are coming through? You got a guy with a clicker?
That's what we need, but I'd say at least 1,000 people are coming through every event, at least.
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday, yep.
You've created a community event.
Culture, man. It's about the culture. It's
awesome.
about West Palm. West Palm just hasn't really experienced anything like this, and I think that we've hit that demographic that really needed this.
Yeah.
You know, so it's been good.
Next, we head to the studio of Jamaican-born pop artist Allan Creary, a self-taught painter who tells a story with every brushstroke.
You and I, we've got a lot in common.
Really?
Yes, we're both self-taught artists.
Okay.
Now here's the difference. I can barely draw a box with a roof on it. You, you're creating some pretty cool stuff.
Thank you.
How and why, what got you into just going, you know what, I'm gonna teach myself?
Well, about 10 or 11 years ago, my friend took me to Miami Art Basel. I pretty much fell in love with art at that point, and I was like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like just so amazed, art everywhere. And I basically started with digital art, and then after that, I started painting physically.
Do you have any inspirations? I mean, you have a Warhol shirt.
Right.
Is Warhol one of them?
Right. Basquiat, Warhol, Keith Haring. You know, I love these artists, and I try to emulate them sometimes in a way, but make it more fresh and more me. You know. There's really no, in my opinion, there's really no bad, wrong way to be an artist.
Sure.
You know?
Talk to me about a process for you.
Yeah, I mean, I may start out with a template and outline, and then the only thing that may stay the same is like the muse, like who I'm painting. Like if I'm painting the Flintstones or the Jetsons, what I started off painting may be a totally different final image. And sometimes it's not necessarily a crazy change, but sometimes it's just like the color. Like I may change the color and say, oh, okay, well, that's how. Now, okay, yeah, now it makes sense. So this is the pendulum painting room, you could say. I mean, the past few years I've just been experimenting a lot with a lot of different things and mediums.
That's very cool.
Concepts.
A lot harder to stay in the lines than you think.
Yeah.
I can't do any of it. I
told you get into abstract.
I gotta do it, yeah. There are so many other things that I don't do well already. Yeah. You know what I mean? To add another thing I don't do really well, it's kind of fun. I don't have time for that. I don't know. But
there's no mistakes in art.
Okeechobee Steakhouse has been sizzling since 1947, and this food is great in any decade. I'm meeting up with the third generation of the Lewis family to find out why it's a must visit in the Palm Beaches.
I'm a third generation, but there's 5 generations now have been involved in the restaurant.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how that started here.
My grandfather, he was an executive chef of the restaurant and a hotel in Tampa, here in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
So he transferred with that company in February of 1933, moved to West Palm. That's where he met my grandmother. In 1935, they got married, decided they wanted to open a restaurant here and set a 10-year goal. And it took them 12 years because of World War II, but they made it. It was so far out of town when they built here that they couldn't even get deliveries for the first 8 years. They were told that it would never make it, they would never last, and the ironic thing is, almost everyone that told them that, they're all gone and we're still here.
Of course.
And this is the original building, original location. We sold steaks from the beginning. You know, things have changed a little bit over the years. Now we sell steaks, sea bass, salmon. Back then we sold steaks, burgers, barbecue, and catfish.
Is that right?
So yeah, we sold about 2,000 pounds of catfish a week.
That's incredible.
And steaks. So we were known for steaks and fish.
It feels like I'm literally going back in time here in a great way. That's obviously by design, and that's something you guys wanted to keep.
Right. My grandparents, I seen the sacrifice they did. I know looking back, they would look at this and not believe we're still here, I'm sure.
Sure.
You know?
Now, look at this. Are you kidding me?
It's a little tomahawk for us.
This is my go-to. When I say that, I don't eat them every day, just 6 days a week.
Just 6 days a week, yeah.
But this is a prime 45-day dry-aged bone-in ribeye, so tomahawk. We have this in our dry aging room. This is kind of like one of my babies, so I pay attention to the dry aging rooms. I'm in there all the time. Kosher salt, black pepper only. Let the meat speak for itself. The fire.
Oh, it's speaking. It's
Can
loud.
you smell that?
It's
You
loud
smell
and clear.
that?
It smells unbelievable.
That's good enough to eat again.
Wow. A retro trip through the Palm Beaches wouldn't be complete without visiting Kelsey Vintage Goods right here in Lake Park. My friend Jesse has everything. Toys, memorabilia, signs. It is definitely a snapshot into yesteryear.
I was selling action figures on the side to put food on the table. And it's amazing how things work. One thing led to another, and 9 years later, here we are.
It started, I remember you had just like a couple little things in your garage. And then I remember when you opened this, when you first opened it, it was like, oh, I don't know kind of what it's going to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you grow with the market, you grow with the audience. Records weren't hot when they opened, now they're blazing hot. Furniture styles change, all that. So that has grown. Obviously, I've created a relationship with a number of customers. You know, you develop your customer base, you become friends. And it's also evolved into a market that I started producing 6 years ago called the Rust Market. And so it's gone from this little 1,000-square-foot store to a block. So we have a block party once a month.
You grew up here?
Sure, I did. I grew up just a couple blocks behind the store and had my formative years here. So there was a soft spot in my heart for Lake Park, and I came back and opened the business because I wanted Lake Park to grow. We're now at the point in my 9 years here where we do this event once a month, and people travel from Orlando to Miami to come, and it's now become a very reputable place to go if you love vintage and you want to see cool vintage stuff.
This place has kind of everything. It's more of a, I would say it's more of a walk down memory lane for not just those things, but like pop culture of the era. You got signs. Talk to me a little bit about why you went that route with everything.
When you go back to things your mother had, your grandmother had, toys you played with, things that you grew up and they make you feel good, you want to surround yourself with that. So whether it's your man cave, your living room, your garage, your business, wherever it is, when you surround yourself with that stuff and you look at it, it makes you smile. I want you to come in and feel good. And people come in all the time and they don't spend any money, and that's cool too, because they leave and they go, thank you, I smiled. It's that connectivity, that emotional connectivity that lasts a lifetime.
I am laced up and rolling my way into the past. And once you start, you just can't stop. Is there a trick to staying upright?
I would say just that. Stay upright and just kind of walk. Move your feet.
It's just a walk thing?
Just a walk.
How's
You're
that
gonna
look?
roll.
Does that look good?
Perfect. I think you got it already. I can see it happening. I've been in this ring since I was 7. My dad managed it before I did.
Whoa.
I get to see other kids grow up the way I got to grow up. You know,
cool.
loving skating, learning skating.
And not just kids, right? Like you're seeing all ages,
Adults,
right?
all ages.
Right?
All ages come. We get, you know, adults that come now that they're bringing their kids that grew up here.
It's amazing.
So it's just been great to see.
Oh my gosh.
We also have art skating, speed skating, jam skating. You know, we want to get all ages in here.
How many people are you getting in here through a week, through a weekend? What's the?
We're pretty busy.
Yeah.
We're pretty busy.
I would imagine.
400 to 600.
What?
We're pretty busy. Everybody loves skating, and that's what we want.
400 to 600?
Yes.
That's solid. And how many can I get on this rink at a time before it gets like crazy? Like if you got guys like me, let's say, who, you know, might skate a little, but probably more of a hazard than anything, how many of those guys can you get on there before things?
First off, I would recommend you come to our skate lessons because
you give lessons.
We do.
That's
we
where
do.
I was going.
We don't want no hazards. We want
Okay.
everybody to skate. You can spin around, just kind of turn.
Turn?
Yes.
Like what?
Skate backwards.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that.
Can.
Oh, that was too easy. I can't, I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
It's for everybody.
I love that.
We don't want to leave anybody out. That's what I say about the skating floor. It makes everything else go away.
Right?
You could be having the worst day and you just skate.
A bad day at the skating rink is better than a good day at work?
There's no bad day at the skating rink.
I like that.
It's been great even here because I hired a staff. None of them skated. And now I can say 95% of them, they skate, they bought their own skates, and it's great.
Speaking of, are you a little impressed at what's going on this side of the...
I'm 100% impressed. I think you were fibbing because you're doing just fine.
I was not fibbing.
There's no walking here. I don't believe it.
Is anybody else impressed?
You're doing great.
It's been a fun time as we've wheeled into the years exploring the many retro and vintage spots throughout the Palm Beaches, from cars to candy to pop art. We hope you'll get out and enjoy everything the Palm Beaches has to offer. Join me next time as we go on the town in the Palm Beaches with me, Frank Licari. Hey, can I get an Uber on this? Must be a bad connection. Obviously, you haven't had a celebrity like this before in your restaurant, and I wonder is there any chance of me getting, I don't know, a steak named after me, or just something, you know what I mean?
This program was brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches. Visit thepalmbeaches.tv for more information.